Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I've got another American Songbook chestnut, the Warren Gordon classic, There Will Never Be Another You, to analyze today. And because I'm interested in melody right now, I've picked a song that does something really specific. It uses like scale motion, and sometimes those scale tones are in the chord, and sometimes they are passing tones. Passing tones can be hard to harmonize, but there's a great trick I want to talk about today. So let's break this thing down. Well, I've said this before. The American Songbook is a great way to sort of learn your functional harmony, European sort of traditional harmony, because these songwriters knew about tonic dominant relationships and about how individual chord tones and passing tones in melody create energy and story. Well, this song here, There Will Never Be Another You, uses kind of this melodic gesture a lot. And some of those tones are chord tones. I'm in E flat, and so of course the B flat and the E flat and the G are chord tones. Some of them aren't, like the D and the F. And we use a trick, and I'll play the whole song in a second, but I want you to know what I'm doing. We use a trick that basically involves alternating between a block version of the home chord, whatever chord we're in the moment, and a diminished chord. The diminished chord that is kind of like a step away. And the funny thing is, if you've got a passing tone going to a chord tone, you can always use a diminished chord. It's going to have that passing in it and slide to that new tone. It's a great trick. It's a powerful trick. Let's take a look at how it would work with There Will Never Be Another You. Beautiful song. Now, there are any number of ways to harmonize and play through a tune. The approach that we're talking about today is very specific. In There Will Never Be Another You, the initial phrase runs from the one chord, E flat, and then it does a 2-5 heading to the relative minor, C minor. Along the way, the melody passes through chord tones like the B flat and the C for an E flat 6 chord, and then non-chord tones like the D, the F, etc. Now, here's what I'm going to do, and just listen to this on a scale. If I have a major scale, E flat major, I can harmonize each of those tones with either a major 6 chord, E flat major 6, for instance, the E flat is harmonized with E flat major 6. Or, as I move up to the next step of the scale, F, the diminished chord that has F in it. That's F diminished. As I continue up the scale, I can continue to do this as long as I'd like. The result is a beautiful sounding harmonization. I'm playing E flats on the outside and filling in notes in the middle. I'm playing Fs on the outside and filling in notes in the middle. It's great sound, isn't it? Beautiful sound. Well, George Shearing, the great jazz pianist, used this to terrific effect, and it's been discussed far and wide. These are close voicings. Everything's kind of jammed within the octave, and it's a really powerful way to play melody. I don't know if you noticed it, but I wasn't doing a conventional, comping melody with chords in the other hand as I was just playing through that. I was playing these types of voicings. So here's our melody. The B flat I'll play as a pickup, and then it says E flat major 7, but I'm going to play E flat 6. Diminished, E flat 6, diminished, E flat 6, E flat 6, diminished, E flat 6, and here the half diminished. I'm going to just open up a little bit and just kind of let it happen, and because that's a sort of a specialty chord. And now I'm off to C minor 7. This is the second line, and I'm going to use the same approach. So any note that's in the C minor 7, E flat is the first tone in the melody, I'll play C minor 7. That means I have a G, a B flat, a C, and the E flat. So C minor 7, F diminished, C minor 7, C minor 7 again because of the C, another C minor 7. These are all C minor 7 until I get to the B flat minor 7, and the melody here, C is the 9th. But I'll tell you what, I know from experience that when you have these long tones like this, if I play a diminished chord here, for a long time it's not going to work. It's just not going to sound like the tune. The bass player is going to go, "What are you doing?" and just not going to sound good. So B flat minor 7. And then E flat 7. Again, I'm just kind of let it happen. And now here are more kind of scale, skippy scale degrees. Going to the third line, pick up A flat major 6, A flat major 6, B flat diminished. Doesn't that sound great? G diminished, F minor 7 flat 5, G diminished, B flat 7, E flat 6, diminished on the F, E flat 6, diminished on the F. And this is a diminished chord here. I might even play. And then the whole thing starts again. When you have scale steps, tones will be either in the chord or out of it. Sometimes with dominant chords, it'll be a bit of a struggle. Take a look at line 4 here, this F7. Number of approaches here. The D in my world is in the F7 chord, but we said we're going to use a diminished chord for anything that, strictly speaking, isn't in the 7th version of F7, which would be F, A, C, E flat. So diminished chord, F7, continuing diminished chord, F7, C minor 7 diminished, diminished F7. And that does work. And then the whole thing starts again. I've reached the highest point in the song, that high A flat major. And this is all A flat major coming down until I get to the diminished A flat 6, diminished F, and then E flat 6, diminished. And this sort of cadence. Definitely, I'm going to play on that B flat 7 chord, the last one before the ending. I'm just going to let it be a 13. I'm not going to play a diminished chord there and then resolve home again. This gets used in gospel, in pop, in soul music all the time. This idea of alternating a 1 chord with a 2 chord as you move up the scale, and play it in church music constantly. And you can extend it to any chord quality. Look at the melodic tone. Is the melody a scale? Well, if it is, then some of the notes will be in the chord and some of them will be passing tones. Those passing tones can be harmonized beautifully with diminished chords. The diminished chords act like little moments of dominant pushiness, right? If I'm doing the scale, the D leading tone to E flat is not in the chord, and the diminished chord sounds like the top of B flat dominant flat 9. You hear how it really sounds like 5-1? And when you're using this trick on a tune, you're doing that 50 times in the course of playing the melody, and it's a powerful approach. Well, try it yourself. You'll see what I mean, and I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. Ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.